Am I the asshole? Because I don't want to name my son after my FIL? My husband and I are expecting a baby boy in 3 months. The issue started when my FIL passed away 2 months ago. My husband, who was very close to having split up with Arthur's father shortly after having her second child, who was born with a severe disability, and she was struggled mentally and practically, which meant Arthur's care was falling by the wayside. Our parents stepped in and we all agreed that my husband and I would take custody of him. It was meant to be temporary. But after a year, Gia formally signed over her rights and my husband, Arthur, my daughter and I moved abroad 1.5-hour flight from Gia. Arthur visits his mother in school holidays and Gia comes out to visit us in the summer and at Christmas. Gia has worked very hard to rebuild her life and now has a fiancé and a third child. Over the past year, Arthur has been putting up more of a fight about going to visit Gia. He says he wants to see his friends during holidays and do more sports. He competes in go-karting. He also says he doesn't like going to Gia's because he doesn't have his own space there. Has much less freedom. Doesn't like the food, activities, etc. I do understand, but at the same time I've always said it's important that he sees his mother. This came up again when I was making plans for half-term and Arthur asked if he could skip his trip to see his mother. He said going to Gia's place just feels like he's being punished for not being our bio child. He said he just wants to stay home like his sister, my daughter. This absolutely broke my heart. I love Arthur just the same as I love my daughter, and the thought he would feel singled out in any way she tore me to pieces. I talked it over with my husband and we decided that we wouldn't force Arthur to go. Gia is furious. She called me all sorts of horrible things. Accused me of pressuring her to give up custody of Arthur. This didn't happen, and stealing her baby again. Not true. She berated me for letting him call me mom. For turning our parents against her. For turning her son into a spoilt brat who looks down on her. Eventually she said if I didn't make him come and visit she would sue me for custody of him. I've spoken to a lawyer who says there is next to no chance that a judge would give custody back to Gia. The parents' mother and Gia's father think I should retain custody of Arthur, but that I should still make sure he is visiting Gia, at least for the next couple of years, as he is too young to realize the impact not having any bond with her will be, and he can decide that when he's older. My husband and I are just trying to do right by Arthur. I don't want him feeling like we don't take his opinion into account. But at the same time I don't want to put him through the stress of a legal battle over all this. And I believe Gia when she said she'll start suing for custody, even if she won't win. So am I the asshole for not making him go? Not the asshole. She signed over her rights, so that will be impossible for her to regain custody. He's basically a teenager and he sees things over at his mom's that he doesn't like. He doesn't have his own space. He probably feels like an outsider, etc. Sit him down and have a serious talk with him. Ask him why. What happens when he goes over there, etc. Get him to go in detail. If doesn't want to go, don't make him. It's up to his mother to fix her bond with your nephew, not him. He's a child. The thing that jumps out at me is he so clearly sees himself as yours. He doesn't want to be sent away. It makes him feel like he isn't your child. I can't imagine how hard that would be. You so clearly love him. I know this isn't useful advice, but congratulations on raising him in such a way that he knows he's yours. I think his needs and wants come above bio mom. You need to listen to what he's saying to you. That's putting his interests first. Family therapy or individual therapy if you think it could be useful. Sending hugs to you all. Not the asshole. She went and had another kid during the 6 years Arthur's lived with you. I'm sorry Gia was struggling when he was younger. but she was somehow still able to go live a life without him. It also doesn't sound like she's made room for him in her current home. That's not fair to Arthur. Not the asshole. He's your kid now. You are his mom. Yes. Gia might have had her reasons for not being able to care for him before, but if she wants to maintain some relationship with him, she's going to have to be the one making the effort. Ultimately, though, it's his choice on whether he wants any relationship with his biological mother. He can't be forced into it. P.S. Kids tell you exactly what they want and what they're not comfortable with. Maybe try listening and talking to him about the why. It's important you support it. No matter how silly it may seem to you, it's important to him. Not the asshole, but 12 yo is the threshold for kids sliding into their friends and own life. They no longer just do as they're told. Going to need to find a compromise. This won't get easier. Y'all need to seek a family therapist. You need to 100 follow whatever that little dude wishes are. He's been jerked around enough by having such a fractured situation. Following whatever he wishes is really the only way to allow him to heal. Verbally support him. Tell him repeatedly there are no wrong decisions. That's very important. That's coming from someone that went through similar. Not the asshole. Tell her to get off her ass and come visit her kid. If Arthur doesn't want to go see her for the reasons listed, it would make sense for her to take a trip or two and inconvenience herself for once. Can you imagine how awkward it will be if you force him to go there now? Not the asshole. After the threat of suing for custody, I wouldn't feel comfortable letting Arthur visit alone. What if she refused to send him back? Not the asshole. I saw your replies. You're replying as a devil advocate in all of them. It's clear that you have the best interest of all parties. But someone will get hurt from this. And I'd rather the kid not being that someone. I think the best solution is for Arthur to talk to Gia via a phone or video call. Let them discuss this. With you as a moderator. All of Arthur's reasoning for why he doesn't want to go meet Gia is valid. Let her hear it from Arthur straight. There needs to be a video call. Given the distance with the adults of both households and Arthur, the communication needs to be crystal clear as to why he is choosing not to go. It would be hard and devastating to your relationship with Arthur to force this issue. That said, bringing everything to light calmly and honestly could start the process for change. She relinquished her parental rights. Which means, he's your son in every sense of the word. Meanwhile, let her come to him. In his space. Give Arthur a chance to work though some of his feelings, not the asshole. As he is too young to realize the impact not having any bond with her. Well, he is old enough to realize his mom chose to give him away on the pretense she can't take care of him. Yet she can take care of her younger than him child. Put that on top of feeling singled out if forced to go to her. Stick with the decision your family of 4 made. I get that it won't be easy or very kind to your sister. But choices and decisions have consequences. Your child is more important than your stepsister. Not the asshole. Okay, so after finding out he doesn't have his own room or guest room to retreat in, that his bio mom is a full-time caregiver for a child, is it any wonder he doesn't want to go? Also, he may be pissed at his bio mom for giving him up and then starting a whole new family. I know I might be salty about that. I wouldn't make him go, but I would put him in therapy. I would also let his make video calls to Gia whenever he wants. Not the asshole. Gia can come visit Arthur where he feels comfortable. Isn't that most important? Gia? Arthur is the priority.